recording audio or Greetings, fellow travelers, and welcome to the level 196 of the RPG Cave. No, I'm not Ryan Turford. He is out of town. He is away doing some side quest off in Canada. I don't know what they do up there. But I'm the level 199 half-elf battle alchemist. I think that's what I am. Garret Bland Explosion, and I am joined by a very special guest, all the way coming from Australia, our koala spirit-born, level 199, Fulya. Hey, Fulya, how's it going?
How's it going? Bonjour, mon ami.
Bonjour. All right, you get into the full French here. When I first saw you in the video, and you're like, oh my goodness, you got the whole outfit going on, you got the beret going on. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
I've had this beret for many, many years. I
really?
think, honestly, it is probably about 15 years old, this beret, and I've been waiting for a moment to wear it again, and finally,
you did it.
I have an excuse.
Yeah, you got the whole setup going on, which is really cool. So, Fulya, this is your first time in the RPG Cave, is that right?
No, actually, I've been in the RPG Cave once or twice before. Yeah,
oh, okay.
With Ryan.
Sorry.
Yep.
Oh, with Ryan. Oh, okay, just with him. Okay,
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good. So you've been through the Rumble. You've been talking about RPGs. You've been getting into RPGs as well.
I have,
yeah,
which is really interesting for me because it's like, I'm loving the side. I think what's gotten me into the RPG side of things a little bit more is more so the story side of it and just the narratives that come out of these kind of games. So that's why I'm so kind of getting more and more invested in them. So
yeah, especially on the indie side, there's a lot of great indie RPGs as well. So super cool. So let me just start out with some housekeeping as we get into the show here. Oh my goodness, I'm only working on one window, so bear with me here as I trudge through my screen. Okay, so we got housekeeping, and for folks who don't know, I look at a document and it's just like full of text, so just bear with me here, okay, as we go through it. This month or next month, I guess, as the episode goes, releases to your podcast feeds, there is it's called September. So please make a big deal out of it. September is our big, kind of sub push on, I think, Twitch, right? And so that's our big push on getting a lot of subs, and actually it really helps us out for directly supporting us. Funding efforts for Extra Life this year, it really helps us out to get everyone all in the same place. And so, just making sure, there's a lot of different deals going on with September. You get 25% off 1 month subs, 25% off 3 months, and 30% off 6 months. So there's a good deal. Getting your month. So basically, yeah, just go after it, and it will be a huge support for us as we go towards Extra Life this year in beginning of November. So there you go. That's September for you. Okay. Okay, so I'm just reading off of the. Okay, so new Patreon supporters. Thanks to Ori Cat Gaming for checking out the 7-day free trial. We have a 7-day free trial, Fulya. I just never heard of that before on a Patreon feed before. So I think it's kind of cool that we do that. And you can get a bunch of content in that 7-day free trial. Ryan has looked at the math, and you cannot go through all the episodes, all bonus episodes during those 7 days, but you can definitely have a taste of, what's out there. You got the Pants Patreon, you got the Campfire. You can, listen to me, Sean, Ryan, and Seth talking about Star Wars for 4 hours or whatever. We got a bunch of things. So thank you, OriCat Gaming, for checking that out. So we got some recent Patreon content. Bowser's episode of Pants is live. Mitch is up next. And then we also have a new episode of Campfire with Seth and Fulya. Oh, okay. Fulya,
yes.
You joined Seth there. You had a little marshmallow going on. And,
I did, yeah. We
cool.
we had some s'mores, and yeah, we talked about all sorts of different things. It's definitely worth going to have a listen if you are a Patreon supporter. Of course, it is a good time.
Nice. Cool. So there you go. Check out the Campfire episode with Seth and Fulya. I'm sure they had a great time over there. And then, let's see here. There's a lot of miscellaneous stuff. Okay, so current Backtrackers game is Norco. Go check that out. I hear Norco is pretty cool. And then we're introducing this Book Crafters. And this is spearheaded by the community members Gizmodo and Star, alongside with Fee from the Xbox Drive. It's a monthly book club where each month you can meet up and chat about books and crafts related to a chosen monthly theme. And not everyone has to read the same book like a typical book club. Just choose a book or craft project within the theme and come hang out. That's super cool. And so September's theme is all about fall, autumn, harvest, back to school. And the meetup will be on Saturday, September 27th, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's pretty cool. We got merch over at, go visit carpoolgaming.com. We got the latest shirt from the Xbox Drive. They just did their 400th episode last night. That was really cool. I love their shirt. It's basically, this is an Xbox Drive, and they have the little Xbox controller and the PC and the monitor. I really enjoy that design. Super cool. And then you can also donate to us on our website. We're gearing up for Extra Life, and your support will enable us to go big each year. And then you can gift merch to Twitch chat at any time. We're live on Twitch. Just go to carpoolgaming.com, select the merch you want to give away in chat, and select the TWIF gifting option. And then I think that's pretty much it on the housekeeping stuff. Wow, I went through it.
So much. You did well.
So many things. Before we get into our main topic here for you, I decided to switch things around. The things show, it's always been, about Garrett's things. I have typically 8-10 different things going on. They can be about literally anything. But you know what? I asked Fulya, hey, why don't you bring in your things? And then we can talk about it.
Things.
So, yeah. So Fulya, hit me with your things. Wait, what do you got going? Yeah.
Well, the first thing that I want to talk about is I recently made a bit of a hefty purchase, and it wasn't for a gaming related anything.
Oh man.
And it's for a small appliance for my kitchen.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. So I found out that the Ninja Creamy brought out a new ice cream machine, which is the Ninja Swirl. Now, it's been out in America for a very long time. Within the last year or so. Mm-hmm. And I didn't actually know about this machine until one day I was like, I want to see what recipes I can make with my current Ninja Creamy, because I have the standard one. So I went on the Ninja Kitchen website, where you can find recipes that are related to their products. Mm-hmm. And I found the section for the ice creams, and I started to see soft serve ice cream recipes, and I thought, I can't do that with my machine. What the heck's going on here? So I went into one of the recipes, and it said, it showed me that to make these soft serve ice creams, you need the Ninja Swirl. And I thought, well, I don't have this machine. How do I acquire one? At the time I found out, it wasn't available in Australia.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So I think maybe a week or so after I made this discovery, I mentioned this to one of my managers at work, because I work at a retail store that sells small appliances.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, just so you know, and this is probably good news for you, Australia's going to be getting them and our company is going to be stocking them. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Wow. Serendipitous.
Oh, I was so excited when I heard that. So as soon as they came in, I'm the person who actually processes the stock that comes into the store. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I saw the boxes, I'm like, give me those. I'm going to process them now. I want to buy one.
Nice.
So I ended up buying one this week because they came in this week. They came in a bit late, so they were delayed in their shipment. They actually came out at the start of August, but our shipment came in pretty late. So but it doesn't matter. I'm glad I got it now.
I'm glad you got it too.
I set it up in my kitchen. And the first thing I found out was that you can use already pre-made ice cream to put into the swirl. So you don't have to do any freezing if you've already got like a tub of like vanilla ice cream or something like that. So all you have to do is you put it into the tub. You process it first. And then, because there's two parts to this machine. There's the processing part of the creamy, which is where you can make scoop ice cream. Okay. But then from there, next to it, sort of attached to it on the left side of the machine, is where you attach the tub so that you can make the swirl ice cream, the soft serve ice cream. Yeah. And there's a lever attached to the right side. And you pull the lever, Kronk, so that you can make the soft serve ice cream. And so I was very, very excited when I found out that was a thing. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I tried that for the first time and it worked out pretty well.
So you already had pre-made ice cream. You just put it in the swirl kind of deal? Okay, cool. Yeah. But it's also an ice cream maker. So you can also make ice cream and then put it in the swirl. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. So they do provide recipe books in their products, so that and these are recipes that have been trialed and tested through those machines. And yeah, there's like a variety of different options because the functions on the actual swirl itself. You can do general soft serve. You could do froyo. You can do what is it like? Dairy free or light soft serve if you want. You can make protein rich, like for those of you who like having like protein powders in your ice cream. You can do that. So there's a few different functions that you can press to get the specific type of process for the ice cream. But the thing you have to do first is you make the base of the ice cream and you freeze it for 24 hours in the tub that they supply. Oh, okay. Got it. So, and then 24 hours later, you can then process it and then swirl it. But if you don't want to swirl it, you don't have to. You just process it and boom, you've just got scoop ice cream. Okay, you just have, you're ready to go, just already eating ice cream. Now, okay, so you can add in the swirl. How many swirls are we talking? Like the capacity of this? Is it just like an ongoing thing of like ice cream? It's whatever's in the tub. Whatever's in the tub. Okay. So cool. You get provided a tub. The tub is where you put the ice cream base into, and then you freeze it for 24 hours. They specified that it needs to be frozen for 24 hours because that means that the whole thing from outside to in, it'll be frozen completely. So you had to wait 24 hours before you had to get a swirl ice cream, basically. Well, yeah, if you're making it yourself, yes, you have to wait 24 hours. Okay. But if you've got pre-made ice cream already, all you have to do is scoop it into the tub. Okay. And then you're ready to level it. All and then you put it in, process it, and then swirl it. Yeah. What a machine. What a machine. It's going to be game-changing for you, I bet. You're going to get some good... Do you have a little waffle cones ready to go, or you just have little balls? Don't. That's the next thing I need to do. I got to add that to my grocery list. Nice. Definitely going to be buying some waffle cones, because I love having soft serve in a waffle cone. Nice. But, last night, I had to have it in a bowl, so...
That's
That's fine.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
All right. Hit me with your
Yeah.
next thing.
All right. My next thing is blood oranges.
Blood
Blood
oranges.
oranges are cool.
Yeah.
I've never seen the flesh of a blood orange.
Oh, really?
And I literally took one this morning because I was like, I need to take out my my greens, my compost, because the beans go out. And I still had some blood oranges that I haven't touched in a little bit. So I was like, let me slice them up and juice it. So I've got with me my blood orange juice. So
the blood orange juice.
Blood orange.
Right, cool.
Yep.
On your
so I
koala
squeeze the
cup.
blood orange.
Nice.
And then before I squeezed it though, when I cut into it, there was one particular orange that looked so like just dark and it, like blood essentially.
Yeah. That's why they're called blood
It was
orange.
the first time I'd seen it in my own sort of personal kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I thought to myself, you know what? I need to show everybody. How cool is that?
Oh, there you go. That is so.
I
That's
posted
beating
it in
red.
the Discord.
Yeah.
That is insanely red. I've never seen it up close and personal. I've only ever seen pictures of it myself. Mm-hmm. But I saw blood oranges were available at my green grocer. And I picked them up because I thought I love blood oranges. I think I prefer blood oranges more than I do regular orange.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but then when I cut into this one's flesh, just full blood color. And I'm like, oh, this is so pretty.
Yeah. I do enjoy a good blood orange. Freaking delicious. So super cool.
Yeah.
And you juice them up too. That's pretty.
Yeah,
nice.
I juiced it. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So I love the thought that I could juice it and have it as just regular juice. So
nice. Super cool.
Yeah.
And then hit me with your third thing.
My third thing. Okay. My third thing is I have been watching a lot of anime lately. So much anime.
That's awesome. What kind of anime you're going through right now?
At the moment, I've mostly been going through a lot of rom-coms, shoujo kind of animes. One that I have recently been watching was My Dress Up Darling, and I've already seen season 1, but I did a rewatch of season 1 because then I found out season 2 had come out. Mm-hmm. So I needed to start watching season 2 of My Dress Up Darling. And my goodness, it is such a hilarious show. I will preface, it is very sexualized. But it's essentially about these high school students. One of them, which is the main character, he's a guy who lives with his grandfather, and his grandfather makes Hina dolls, and ever since he was a kid, he's always loved the look of the Hina dolls, and he's always wanted to do the same thing, like paint Hina dolls and dress them and all that, and make costumes for them and all that sort of stuff. So he's grown up to being a high school student that thinks, but because back when he was a kid, he told a friend who's a girl, and the girls yelled at him saying, why do you like Hina dolls? That's not for boys, it's for girls. And it traumatized him.
Yeah.
He kept that with him for so long. And so he kept to himself. He's a quiet, introverted person. And he didn't want to share this with anybody, right? And he doesn't really have many friends. So in the show, in this show, he finds out that one day a sewing machine at home, it breaks because it was so old. It got used so much. So he's like, let me use the one from the home ec class. No one goes in there to touch any of the sewing machines or anything like that. No one will come in here during lunchtime or anything like that. So he goes in there to start making these costumes, like these dresses for the Hina dolls.
Yeah.
One day, that one day he goes in, a girl walks in. And he was in so much shock. He's like, oh, I don't know what to do here. Holy shit, someone caught me.
So it's
but
just,
then the girl...
Yeah, go ahead.
The girl finds out that he's making costumes, and she was in there because she wanted to make cosplay.
Oh, okay.
And she's not very good at sewing at all. When she revealed the fact that she was making cosplay, she was in there to do some cosplay sewing and stuff. He was a little bit more interested in that than her, and saw the costume that she was trying to put together and the picture that she was referencing it to, and he's like, that looks nothing like what you're trying to do here. And then he went into full, like, sewing mode of what the hell is this? What these seams look uneven, and just started nitpicking the crap out of the cosplay. And it's hilarious because from then they build this like friendship as the episodes go along. But he's so shy that everything that he ends up doing, he doesn't want to upset her. Okay. And he's like, it doesn't, not like, he gets embarrassed very easily. And yeah, it's hilarious. It is just.
It sounds like a pretty good high school show about a guy and a girl trying, have a little friendship. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds good. Try to search it up a little bit more. Yeah, it's a huge thing, huge manga.
It is.
And everything like that. So
yeah,
super cool. So dressed up doll. Are you really into anime? Like you watch it constantly? All right, cool.
Yes,
cool.
I really like my anime.
Nice. I used to be into it a little bit more. I would say like, I don't know, 5 to 8 years ago, somewhere around there. And then I don't know. Sometimes you just don't have time. It's like, I dropped it off. My favorite anime is really Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah.
That really gets me. And Hunter x Hunter is a good one too. I like. Yeah.
Ryan does mention my Dress Up Darling is a Square Enix show.
Yes, it is. Okay, cool. Super cool. Fulya, thank you for your things. That's a good plethora difference.
Yes.
Of
all
things
sorts
there.
of different things happening.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into the show here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's read from the sacred texts, and we're going to get into it. So this episode's all going to be about Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. We're going to be doing like an overview and like kind of a non-spoily like review discussion. And then we'll have some questions that are non-spoiler related. So we'll go through those. And then we will definitely have a spoiler section right after us, because if for folks who have played that game, you definitely need a spoiler section to discuss a lot of the main points of the game here. So I let Fulya go on for a long time, talking about her different things. I'm going to go for a little bit. I do have some fun facts. Ryan would be very much proud of me of these fun facts. So let's get into it. What is Clair Obscur Expedition 33? Well, it's a turn-based RPG. It is, with real-time mechanics. And the developer is Sandfall Interactive. The publisher's Kepler Interactive. Kepler has been, kind of been building up over the past few years. They have some notice hitters out there. And this one, I believe it was definitely a good sleeper hit of a video game, very successful. The release date was April 24th of this year, and it came out to PS4, Xbox Series, and Windows, of course, PC, blah, blah, blah. Just pretty much everything except for Switch. So there you have it. That's kind of the beginning, kind of the setting and premise. All right. So I got kind of a whole summary here. So it's set in a hauntingly beautiful world inspired by Belle Epoque France. The game unfolds in a society plagued by a surreal curse. Each year, the paintress paints a number, and everyone of that age or older vanishes from existence. And this is an annual event known as the Gamage, and it kind of decimated this kind of society for generations. And then so the premise of Expedition 33, you play as members as Expedition 33, and they only have 1 year left to live, and their mission is to destroy the Paintress and end the cycle of death before their number is called. So that's kind of like, in for folks who, hasn't really gone into it, that's kind of the synopsis. That's the intro of the video game, and you kind of get hooked up from there. So let me go into kind of fun facts here. I think the fun facts is a little bit later in the game, but there's one. So we have main characters here, Fulya. We got, Sael, we got, Gustav and everything. There's this one character named Monaco, the Gestrel. You know Monaco, right? One of the game's most beloved characters. He was actually named after a developer's real-life office dog, officially titled Happiness Manager. So
I did see that fun fact pop up on my socials. It's actually pretty cute.
that is very cute. So that was one thing. The Gestrels, are kind of like the I guess they're like off-beaten characters, like creatures that have little masks on. That kind of help you throughout the game. There was one little fun fact as well. In the Gestrel village, there's one merchant that sits in a booth that's literally on fire. That's like saying, and then when you approach them, they say, "This is fine," just like
this is fine. Yeah. I came across that because I streamed this game, the whole game. I streamed it. When I came across that Gestrel sitting in the fire and read, "This is fine." I lost it. I was like, "No way!" They put in a meme,
right,
into the game.
And they did. It was wonderful. So yeah, those are a couple of fun facts there. There's also a hidden painting room with portraits of Monaco and Noko, another dog, complete with toys in a doghouse. I don't know if you saw that one. I did.
I don't think I've come across that actually.
Yeah, it was in the manor. It was one of the painting rooms in there. So yeah, okay. So there's a cute little Easter eggs here and there. I'm gonna introduce kind of the overall characters, and then we can kind of get into impressions. So okay. So first is kind of the main character, Gustav. He grew up under the oppressive shadow of the Paintress. He is an engineer, and he devoted his life to protecting Lumiere with innovation. Now he has only 1 year left, and so he joined the expedition and to reclaim a future for the city's children. He was very into teaching children in the main village over there. So that's Gustav. And then there's Mael. And so she is actually an orphan, but bounced between families, but really close to Gustav. I think Gustav was like acting as like an older brother to her. Now she's 16, but she's still going to go into the Expedition 33 and see the journey till the end. So that's kind of interesting, bringing a younger character into the squad. You got Lune, and so she's the daughter of renowned researchers, and she sacrificed everything to complete her parents' work. And so she's very, head-focused, mission-focused type of character. She wants to destroy the Paintress at all costs. There's Sael, which embraces life and death with grace, and so she has a bunch of cool different skills there. And she has a very dark past that we could talk about in the spoiler section, of course. Then there's Monaco, which we kind of talked about before. He's a rare Gestrel that you recruit in the party that speaks human language. Not all. I think he's the only one or one of few that actually speaks. And he's hilarious. Let me tell you, he's such a character. I love him. And then you got Verso. He is. You'll meet him, later in the game. He joins your crew, and I don't want to get into his backstory so much because it is full of spoilery things.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Okay, so I think let's go start Fulya with the mechanics themselves. So we got this kind of breath of fresh air. I don't know how you when you saw the trailer initially of this game. I was quite surprised of seeing it. It's like, okay, it looks like a AAA action-adventure RPG made by a studio. Great, that's checking off the boxes. And then it gets into this turn-based combat. I'm like, oh, that's something new. That's something that we haven't seen in this AAA graphic Western space before. And so it's kind of refreshing to see this turn-based mechanics. And then we have a bunch of, sprinkled things in. Of course, we got skills, we got leveling systems. We also got a big thing in this game, timing mechanics, timing the dodge, the parry, which is very important throughout this game. I would say it could be more important than the actual turn-based, move that you make themselves. So as you were going, as you saw the video game for the first time and as you played it, how did you think of the mechanics themselves?
So when I saw the actual trailer itself, I was very intrigued, more so for the story of it all than anything.
Okay.
I was okay with the idea with it being a turn-based RPG. So
okay.
I've played turn-based games in the past. I don't mind them. This one, however, when it mentioned that parries and dodges are going to be your main focus in the battles, it kind of intimidated me a little bit because I'm not that type of person. I don't play Soulsborne games, and they obviously tie into doing a lot of that sort of like parries and dodges. But for me, it was like, okay, I'm not very good with timing, so that's gonna be very interesting to see how well I go with that.
Right.
When I got into playing the game, I'm glad that it had like a little mini tutorial at the start of the game before you go on the expedition. And even then I was a bit nervous about doing the parries, and I thought this is not going to go well. So it did take me a bit of getting used to do parries and dodges and to actually remember the buttons every time I came back to it.
You're right.
Yeah, but like I didn't mind it. Once I got into the story a bit more and there was more battles, I think I got the hang of making sure to listen out for like sound cues or visual cues to then be like, okay, they're coming for me. They're about to do this. I need to hit this button like now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, I definitely got that feeling as well. Of course, you kind of build out your character, you build out your skill set, and you're trying to break the monster as you go throughout these moves. But as you know, the dodge and parry system is absolutely critical in even beating the monster, to be honest with you. There was many times where I failed, and I'm like, okay, I mean, like I missed the dodge, I missed the parry, I have to redo this. You get to a point, at least for me, where I just learn the taps. I'm like, okay, I know which move you're gonna do, and I'm gonna tap, 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 tap. Like it's a rhythm game. It's like I'm doing exactly what you have shown me all the past 100 times I died, pretty much. So yeah, it really got to a point for me where it was more of a rhythm game rather than a turn-based game. Because I just felt like that's the way to beat the monsters. It was there's some good strategy with the turn-based systems. I'm not saying that there was it wasn't anything off or anything, but there was just so much weight to the dodge and the parry. And I really just parried, to be honest with you. Did you do more dodge or did you do more parry? I'm curious.
I think I may have parried more than I did dodge. Once I got used to it, I parried a lot more.
Yeah, because dodge for me, there was a lot of reaction time, right? So you kind of like dodge and you get back in. Sometimes monsters' moves are a little too fast, and so it doesn't really appropriate with the dodge.
Exactly, and sometimes there were moves that the enemy would make that even dodging wouldn't, like, you wouldn't be able to get past it. So
right. Yeah, exactly. There was so many times that I thought the monster was going to attack me and I would parry or dodge too early.
Same.
It's like okay, I'm about to attack you, and then it's like 2 seconds later it finally attacks me. I'm like, oh, come on. Like
that was the thing about like because there's so many different types of enemies, they all have variations of their timings when they attack. And so parrying got a lot harder for me. Because you have to learn, you got to learn their fighting style. So you have, like, it's one of those things where you need to be hit a couple of times to understand what they're going to do. And they don't just have one move. They have like 2 or 3 different moves. Before they, especially when it comes to your small bosses and your big boss battles. Before they move into like a second or a third phase, they always like you need to learn what they do during their fights.
Yeah, and so there was a lot of loss, a lot of defeats, a lot of deaths for me. But I'm glad the game was pretty forgiving. So the items are pretty unlimited, right? Because you have like 3 of like health, 3 revives. And then those you can kind of replenish at those checkpoints, at those flag staffs in each of the points. And monsters respawn as well as you do that. But I think that's pretty forgiving. Also, you have 3 characters out in the battle, and then once those characters are dead, then you have a second wave. Yeah, you have a reserve team that gets in there and does that as well. So I think the game in that sense is pretty forgiving, and I'm glad that they did it like that. How did you feel about leveling up the characters themselves? There's a lot of different ways you can get about it. Did you have like a kind of a strategy going for each of the character and going through those motions?
Honestly, no.
No, it's pretty chaotic, isn't it?
I just wanted to play through the story.
I get it.
Maybe not as quickly as possible. It was just one of those things where I was so invested in the story that that's all I wanted to like learn about, and so I didn't actually go out of my way to like grind or level up my characters too much. I'm the type of person who would rather avoid going into battles and just keep running through. So I'll try to run past them, and then obviously you realize you kind of need to battle them to level up, otherwise it's not going to happen. So I then got to a point where I built up a bit more courage in myself to just battle any like enemies that I come across, just so that I can level them up. But I think leveling up the characters wasn't really my core focus. I think for me it was more about their abilities, their skills.
So I was wondering, like, did you go far down, let's say a certain skill line of a certain tree of each of the character? Because for me, for me, like, it was pretty hodgepodge. They have a lot of, I think the skill tree is a little too much chaotic. I really do like how, for example, Borderlands, it's like, here's one tree, here's another tree, here's another tree. You pick one of those 3 and you go down that, basically. Okay. This one is like, here's 7 different ways to like
in one tree.
In one tree to get to the end. Like, there's like 3 connections to a skill. I'm like, why does that? I don't.
Well, that's the thing, right? These trees don't actually go down to a certain point. It's a circle.
It's a like, full-on circle,
it's like you can go one way, and then there's like another branch path that you can go down, but then you can join up the other way, and it's like, okay, but the other thing that I noticed is there's actually not a lot of skills to unlock. Right. However, they do cost more to get to them. To be able to unlock them, and then to use them, because they're so expensive to unlock the skill. It's expensive to use in battle.
Yes. Yeah, so you have a limited loadout of skills that you can have with your character. And then, as you said, it just takes a while to get those larger, more powerful ones. I think the ones that made most sense to me was Mael and Luna the most, because they actually had an endpoint, whereas the other ones, they had circles, as you said, and I'm like,
Pretty much.
Okay, like I really got to a point in that game. I'm like, I'm just going to unlock anything that I can with the points I have, and just go down and just like figure it out from there.
I kind of strategized a little bit in the sense of what's going to give me the most damage, what's going to help me debuff the enemies, buff my characters, like my allies. So for me, it was like trying to figure out what's going to be more beneficial for my party. And that's kind of where I decided to go. And there were a lot of... I don't know about you, Garret, but I don't go out of my way to unlock many of the healing type skills, just mostly because a lot of them, because they cost points to use them, and you're not inflicting damage on the actual
on
enemy,
the monster,
right? So I thought to myself, well, if there were some skills where you could heal when you hit the enemy in some point, like in some way, if you hit the enemy, you'll be able to gain some heal out of it, right? Or a regen or something like that. So I didn't mind those ones when it came to healing, but when it was just about healing, I thought I think only maybe one or two of my party members, I thought I'll get them to do that. Everybody else needs to be attacking.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think Luna was like my healer in general, and actually I didn't heal as much. I actually was leaning on reviving. Like, okay, that character's dead, let me revive. And so she was my revival person, like had a special skill with it. And at the same time, there were a lot of bonuses with my other characters that they had low health. It was like, okay, you have low health, you have 200% damage or something like that.
Yeah.
So
I especially wanted to add in those, and we'll probably get into it a little bit soon. The pictos where
let's get into those.
Yeah, the pictos where you can actually, like if your party member is low in health, their power level goes up, like their attack goes increases. And knowing me in the way that I fight, I was like, well, that's going to have to be a thing for my characters. I'm definitely going to need them.
Yeah, so I think the other big critical, this is very critical, the Pictos. Yes. Because there were a lot that were adding a lot of bonuses to the characters themselves. There were kind of quite a few essential ones in the middle of the game where I'm like, oh, I gotta have it for everything. So Pictos are this, think of materia in Final Fantasy VII. It's just these items that you kind of pick up throughout the game, and then you equip it with your characters. And then after a certain amount of moves or battles or whatever, they learn it. And so they're able to learn it on the back end if they want to permanently. And that's a whole nother system. I forgot what the name was, but
the Luminas.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. And so the Pictos was really nice to have. As you said, one of them was like, if you have low health, you get 200 or 300% damage or whatever. Many different types of these bonuses. And honestly, it got to a point for me on late game where it gave my character like outrageous damage. Like I would defeat these monsters in one hit sometimes, and I'm like, that's kind of crazy. How did you feel about the Pictos system?
The Picto system was really like very interesting for me because it was more of the case of the fact that I had to rearrange things whenever I needed it, depending on where I was on the map. And then, realizing the pattern in my fight style as well. I like the idea that once you actually once you get those Pictos and you essentially learn them, you can then use them with everybody else's part of a Lumina, so that they can have them as part of their sort of skill set as well, without having them as a actual thing that you have to use in battle. It just automatically generates. So I didn't mind the Pictos. It was just more a case of what's gonna be beneficial for my party. Is this gonna work? How often do I use it? How much is it gonna cost me in AP?
Right.
So especially that, like when it came to like how much it was gonna cost to use in battle was the other concern that I had playing the game when I was battling, and it was one of those things where I just kept an eye on all that. But I realized that as well that each character's Pictos is going to be a little bit different in the way that they're used. So that was the other thing. I was like, okay, if I add it to this person, they'll use it really well here. It'll be really beneficial for them. It'll help them buff their stats. And yeah, it was just one of those things where I just kind of had to balance it out in a way, depending on the party members.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I think the Picto system was a little chaotic as well, just because I get so many of them, and it was just very hard to organize and like, okay, which ones do I go with these characters? I basically kind of grabbed a subset of them and then just like, okay, these are the ones that I think that are most important to me, and kind of just like there were just so many. There was like, I don't know, maybe 100 of them I accumulated over the game. A lot. Yeah.
I found myself at the first half of the game, I found myself grabbing them and just putting them in there just randomly. Like I didn't know what to do with them really. But then as I learned further into the game, especially late game, I was like, oh, okay, hold on. I really need to think about this, right? So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was definitely a learning curve with the Pictos for sure.
There were definitely certain... I remember one boss, it was one of the axioms. I'm like, oh, you definitely need a Pictos to fight that one. Like, there was no way around it. So
not at all.
Yeah, so especially critical. All right, so we talked a lot about mechanics. Let's just dive into what's your kind of favorite character in general as you played. Like what was your bae? Who was your husbando? Who did you want to like put in the forefront? I'm just curious, like who did you like?
I was absolutely loving Gustav. Gustav was absolutely amazing.
Gustav's
and then my
amazing,
heart broke at the end of Act 1. I'm like, no.
Gustav's great. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think for me, like, I just fell in love with Verso when we met him. Like,
oh really? Okay.
Verso,
you were into Verso.
I loved Verso. I know there was something, like I knew he was hiding something, like there wouldn't be a reason for him to join their party if he wasn't hiding something.
Right.
And then when we find out what that thing was later on, I was like, oh, okay. I don't know how I feel. I was very sort of in two minds when I found out about the secret, and I was just like,
yeah.
Do I continue liking you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
But I think out of everybody else in general, I'm going to say, man, CL is amazing.
Okay, CL, yeah.
Yeah. She's such a boss. Like especially her elements, like the way that she does. She has
the dark
she wields
and light.
dark and light, and she uses cards.
Yeah.
And like a scythe almost.
Yeah, it is
kind
a scythe.
of a weapon.
Yeah.
She's
cool.
She's amazing. I loved her. But I think my favorite is probably going to be SKA, even though you don't really use him as a party member.
Right.
SKA is like the most wholesome character out of them all.
Yes, definitely. I love SKA. He's a good one for sure. Yeah, I like
adorable.
the conversations. Wow. Yeah, so my favorite characters, I really enjoyed Monaco a lot.
Oh, yes.
Monaco is very unique. in the sense
Yes,
that he grabs the enemy's feet, and that feet is a totem of stealing a move from that enemy. And then you can load out your whole skill set based off of your enemy's move set. So I think
he was
that was
an
cool.
interesting one when it came to the skill tree. So his skill tree is literally just you're finding all these feet, you unlock them depending on what enemy you battle, and then you can just attach them. Essentially, that's
and
how you unlock them.
Pretty much. It was pretty, so I experiment a lot with Monaco. I made sure to get all the feet that I can. And there was like kind of a indicator in the enemy. It's like, oh, you can get this enemy's feet. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to get that enemy's feet for sure.
Wait, there's an indicator?
Yeah, there's like a little indicator in the right next to the name of the monster. It was like, hey, this little icon is just telling you that this is a new move once you defeat this monster.
Oh, yeah. I did not pay attention to that.
Yeah, it's very minute. It's a very tiny little detail.
Yeah.
So I love Monaco. I actually really enjoyed Mael in general.
Mael,
like the moveset.
She's so OP.
She's so overpowered. I got her pretty powerful, like to the point of like if she parries in the beginning of the battle, it's done. It's like just don't worry about the rest of the battle. They're pretty much done. I had an interesting combo between Verso and Mael near the end of the game, where Verso was able to mark the enemy, and then Mael had special moves that was super powerful against marked enemies.
Yes, same. I was doing similar sort of moves as well. I had Monaco and Mael were both my two main party members, and then I just switch out the last one every so often. Yeah.
Nice. And then finally the gradient attacks, the major attacks in this move that makes it super epic. Kind of a saving grace in a lot of boss moves.
Definitely.
For me. What did you think about those?
The gradient attacks took a little bit of getting used to in terms of like countering. So like the counter gradient
countering
attacks.
The gradient attacks is very difficult. Yes.
And to get the right timing of it in terms, because you're just I played it on the PlayStation, so it's like the right trigger button is the one that you had to press to get it right. But there's a window of when to press it, and half the time I was just randomly just pressing the button, hoping that it worked.
I'm like, is it this time? Is it? Oh, no, it's not. I'm dead.
I'm just going to just spam the button. I'm going to spam this button until it works. And a lot of the times it worked, but then I'm going to say probably towards the end game, that's when I understood the timing of using the counter gradient attacks. But actually doing the gradient attacks was really nice to have, especially when you're fighting the big bosses.
Yes.
And they're definitely worth building up, because your party members will have two different types of gradient attacks. One will be worth 1 and another one will be worth 2. I actually haven't come across a gradient attack that's worth 3.
Oh, I had. Yeah.
Have you?
All of them had 3.
Okay, I've not come across one of those.
Yeah, I think, and so it kind of the pacing of this game gets a little wonky in Act 3, where you can really grind, like you can do all sorts of things, right, in Act 3 and do side stuff. And so, you'll definitely get the point of getting 3, like the 3rd gradient attack. And it's pretty good. It's pretty powerful.
Okay. All right. I need to find it, because even though I finished the game, I've gone back into it to find like the collectibles and just level grind my characters again. I haven't actually come across the 3rd gradient attack for the characters yet. So,
So, okay, that's all about the mechanics. Let's just talk about everything else. So, as you know, the story is beautifully told. And in this non-spoiler section, we're just going to keep it very brief. It's a very good story. It's very beautifully told. There are points where you don't expect a lot of great writing, great character relationships, so on and so forth. I'm going to keep it at like that high level. Fulya, is there anything else you want to mention about the story itself?
It's just the best story that I've ever experienced playing any kind of game. I've never experienced a game like this ever. This is definitely up there for me in my top 3 for the year, and maybe just in general of games that I've played. Yeah. And that's saying something, because I don't normally play RPGs, and I'm saying this is like top tier game. I love this game so much, to the point where I've decided to go on a platinum run with this game. That's
nice.
I want to get all the trophies for this. That's how much I love it. And the one thing that I will also mention, the music is the best. This soundtrack is awesome. And always, every time I go to a new area, or whenever I go into a battle with an enemy, the music always sends chills down my back. And
it's good.
It's so good. It is beautiful. I love the music in this game.
So, and it's pretty interesting. The composer of the music and the singer came from forums. Like they weren't well-renowned musicians or anything.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is their first time composing for a game.
Yeah. So it was. I really enjoyed the soundtrack as well. It's very, atmospheric, and it really sets you going in the battles, and then it gives you. It's very emotional.
Absolutely.
No, overall, I really enjoyed the music. I love the atmosphere. Very French, which we typically don't see in video games at all.
No.
Man, I loved how very French it was. Like, it'll shoot out French phrases. You find little outfits with the baguette and the mime. Mimes that are all around the game too, and you have to defeat those as well.
I've only faced one, and
really?
I have not gone nowhere near any of the others.
You definitely. So they definitely have a rhythm to it, and then once you understand the rhythm of the mime, you're good. Like you'll beat all the mimes. They're pretty, and so the mimes give you a lot of cosmetics. So I had really decked out hairstyles and outfits in my characters.
That's where we get them. Okay, I didn't get very many like outfits for my characters, to be honest.
Yeah. Some really cool outfits, and then also did you play the platforming mini game? I'm just curious. The one that you have to. You have to
to go all the way to the top?
Yeah, go all the way to the top, yeah.
I tried twice and fell twice, and I haven't gone back.
It's very hard. No, it took me at least 50 tries or something to get all the way up there.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
It's pretty high up, so good luck trying that. I don't think that's a trophy. I
don't think I have to worry about that. I think it's just, there might be some, is there like treasure
There's
or
a cosmetic,
at the top?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
There is a cosmetic up there.
So just fly there with Esquier.
Yeah, pretty much. I think before we get into really heavy spoilery stuff, I want to mention about the navigation of this game, because I think this was one of the weaker points of this game. Basically, you have this mini map, which is great. You can go into individual areas. In Act 1 and 2, it's very directed. Act 3 is very open world kind of deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get into these areas, and they're kind of mini little areas, mini dungeons, you can call them. And that's where you face the monsters. Of course, everyone knows that there's no mini map or map in general in this game. And for me, that's pretty rough, considering that sometimes I would be circling around certain areas multiple times.
Yeah.
And I'm not figuring out where the end of the kind of the end point or where the checkpoint is. Where's the side stuff? Where am I supposed to kind of go? I think it was a little bit too free, a little bit too loose on that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you struggle at all with the navigation of this game?
Honestly, yes, I really did. And the other thing that I will mention is that I didn't realize that you could push one of the I think it was like the triangle button, I think it was. on the
Okay.
PlayStation. If you press that, it'll show you at least the compass. But
Yes.
the compass doesn't really help if I don't
No,
know
it doesn't.
which way I need to go.
It really doesn't help. So I thought that was interesting. Another kind of weird point was like when you go out into the open world, open zone, there were certain areas you can go to, which had a red mark. That means that it was pretty too high level for you, which is fine. There were others that's like, okay, this is a boss. And then you're getting into it, and then the boss is kind of OP, and then you kind of die. So yeah, there's just actually gave me Xenoblade Chronicles 2 energy, where you just wind up in an area where you're not supposed to go. On certain occasions. But again, this was kind of very small scale. It didn't happen too many times, I would say, to really struggle with the game. It was just like, oh, I'm not supposed to go there. Let me just go the rest. There were side quests, but I gotta really, there wasn't like much direction with those side quests at all. There wasn't like, here's a check map, here you can get through the game. It's mainly like, as you said, play the story, play the main mission.
Yeah.
That's basically the game. But yeah, I think that was just one of my kind of gripes about the game, was just the navigation itself.
Yeah,
so,
honestly,
yeah.
I agree. I think that's one major gripe that I had with the game as well, is that especially at the beginning of the game, where I had no idea where I was going. There was no real hint system or anything to tell me which way I needed to go. The only thing that told me I was going in the right direction was when the character started some sort of dialogue as you sort of ventured further into where you were supposed to be going. That was my only clue into being like, oh, okay, I'm going in the right direction. But otherwise, they don't really like tell you that you're going the way that you need to go. So yeah, the navigation system could have been a bit better. Like, I like the fact that the map itself is, you can traverse the map, but
Yes,
you can't. You can traverse the map, but you can't have a map in the areas that you're going into, which is really weird to me. Yeah.
So let's just round out this non-spoiler section first. Your overall thoughts of the game and how you recommend it, non-spoiler version, and then we'll get into the couple of questions here. So Fulya, what's your overall impressions?
Cool. My overall impressions, you already can tell. Like, I'm literally sitting here in a red beret. I'm cosplaying the game. I loved it so much. Yes. I absolutely would highly recommend playing this. And as someone who doesn't normally play RPGs in general, I managed to play through it fine. And I still enjoyed it. The story is definitely something that you should really kind of focus on. It's mainly, it's what I came for. I came for the story, and I loved it. So I literally just, I don't know how much more I can really praise this game already. It's just really good.
Yeah, I really liked it too. I love the game. I don't think I'm so hyped about it as other people. I'm actually quite surprised how many people really enjoy this game, like yourself, that are not really RPG fans. And it really goes to show you how impactful the story was. It was a really, and yes, it really hit me hard as well. It's a very great story. I just think first time moments, I have other video games that take precedence. I think it's just kind of like in the moment type of deal sometimes that that really hits you. I think Expedition 33 did a wonderful job. As a first game coming from this studio, they're ex-Ubisoft devs, and they just created this wonderful video game at a good price point, out on current gen platforms, out on Game Pass. It's a wonderful RPG, and I highly recommend everyone to play Clair Obscur for sure. All right, so let's get into a couple of questions here. They're RPG related, non-spoilery. So let's just kind of hammer these out, then we'll get into spoiler stuff. First is Skycatcher from the Discord. He asks, what are some other great indie RPGs with a great story? And I had to really think about this one, Fulya, because I don't. I mean, I play some indie RPGs, but I really don't go for the story of those RPGs. One thing that really of note that I did enjoy the story quite a bit was Sea of Stars. It does take quite a bit of a turn. Now, it's not like my favorite story ever. I thought it was good enough to keep me going to the very end. Very cool, kind of Mario RPG type of mechanic, and then kind of pixelated Chrono Trigger type of art style. Really enjoyed the story of that one. But Fulya, do you have any recommendations or any, indie RPGs with great stories?
I don't think I've actually really played RPGs in the indie sense, to be fair.
Yeah.
I would probably say, and I haven't actually finished it, and I'm pretty sure I may have asked a question about it, but Battle Cakes is an indie game that is an RPG, and it's very adorable. I haven't finished it, but it's actually very quirky. It is very funny and very colorful, and you're just playing as little cakes.
Yeah.
in a world of cakes, you are a cake, and it's absolutely hilarious, and I'm really enjoying that one at the moment. So I can probably say that might be something.
I mean, you're
no one's really
cakes.
talked about it.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sure it's fantastic because you're just cakes and you're battling each other. So
yeah, exactly. Like you get to be a cupcake. You get to there's the character creator. You get to fit your cupcake out in terms of what type of icing it has and what type of wrapping and all that sort of stuff. And it's really cute. I like it.
Nice. Another RPG I think that has a great story that I haven't finished all the way, but I really enjoyed it for what I played is Chained Echoes. It's kind of a very Final Fantasy classic RPG inspired game as well. So I would recommend that as well. But I'm pretty much with Fulya. There's so many indie RPGs, and grabbing a self-select of those with great stories, I don't have the expertise per se. Maybe we have to ask Ryan next go around or whatever. All right. So then we have another question, and I think I'll mainly answer this one because this is more about strategy RPGs. So this is from, I think, Mr. Paullin. He says, "Hey guys, I've never played a strategy RPG. I have Fire Emblem Engage and I'm considering starting it. Is this a good beginner strategy RPG, or can you recommend a different game? Thanks." Okay, so Fire Emblem Engage. That is a very interesting one to start off of. I think it's pretty easy. It's pretty accessible. Like, I think you can get through that game as a beginner, as a strategy RPG beginner, and you'll get through the story just fine. And so on and so forth. The story of this game and the mechanics, I don't think it's the best out of all the Fire Emblem games. There's Fire Emblem Three Houses. I think it's very good as well, but I think that takes so long as well. Three Houses is a pretty long game. And then Engage also has the kind of anniversary, like spiritual past Fire Emblem characters, which I think you get more out of if you understand what Fire Emblem is and like know the characters from the past. But I'm not trying to discourage you from playing this game because I do think it's the most accessible Fire Emblem game as of today. Like, it's pretty easy to get through. Other games, I think another big strategy game I highly recommend is actually Triangle Strategy. It just recently got released on Xbox and PlayStation, and it's an HC2D game. It can get pretty, kind of little complicated, but they have accessible options. You can make it easy, and stuff like that. So and it's very unique graphics. I love the graphics of that game. Fulya, do you have any recommendations of strategy RPGs?
I don't know.
Okay.
I've not really played many, but I don't know, maybe Unicorn Overlord?
You know, it's very close to a strategy RPG. Very close.
Very close? Okay.
Another big one that I would really recommend, Mario plus Rabbids. You can play the first game, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle plus Donkey Kong DLC. I've seen it on sale so many times, and it's such a good strategy role-playing game. Like that's the one, Mr. Paullin. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Go do it. Go play that one. Okay, now we're kind of done with the non-spoilery stuff. We're gonna get into the spoiler stuff, and so for folks out there, just making sure that we're getting there. Okay.
There's a banner there now.
There's a banner down below. All right, and so we're going in there in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're in the spoiler section of Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. Fulya. Oh, my heart breaks in this game. This is a very sad story.
It really is.
It's such a sad story. Now, let's get into kind of the pivotal point of this game, which is when you face the Paintress and you defeat the Paintress. And everything kind of unfolds from there. How did you feel? The Paintress being defeated, and then what happens next? How did you feel about that?
My brain just exploded. I thought to myself, wait a second, what?
That's not the end of the game, right?
That's not it?
Yeah,
I thought the whole point of this game was to defeat the Paintress, but then you find out, no, that's not the real reason you're here.
Yeah, it's not the real reason you're here at all. You soon figure out that everything is a lie and this is all a painted world. And we're actually in the middle of the battle of, was it painters versus writers? Is that the thing? Writers?
I think so.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's it. And so what's happening in this game is it's basically all about an internal struggle of the family of Mael, of Verso, and then their sister, and then of course their parents fighting in both ways throughout this painted world. I thought it was a very good all around tying up of this game. It was just, I was just trying to process what was happening. Because I remember going back to the main, the beginning part of the game, and everyone's happy. I'm like, this is not gonna end like this. It is I had that feeling in my gut. And then you soon figure out what's the not the ultimate villains per se, but you realize what the struggle was throughout this world. Very interesting indeed. So, yeah. Is there any kind of major points with Verso and Mael you want to talk about? Kind of like their relationship and then their struggle as they go throughout the game?
Oh, man. I don't really know where to begin with them, because at first it didn't even click that. I think maybe, when was it? Maybe about halfway through Act 2, when you get to a point where you find out that Verso is actually the son of...
Yes.
The
guy, I forgot his name. What was it?
Renoir,
yeah. Okay, yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, wow, okay. Interesting, very interesting. But then you kind of get hints that Mael has something to do with them, right?
Yeah.
And I kept thinking to myself, is she part of that family?
Yeah.
I didn't want to believe it, but...
I think it really got... Actually, I kind of thought about Mael being really into it in the end of Act 1. mainly when Gustav died, and then you see the masked girl right there.
Yes.
That masked girl, I was like, that kind of looks Mael. kind of.
Yeah, Alicia. Yeah.
Yeah, Alicia kind of looks like Mael. So yeah, they were dragging that on for quite a bit. That whole painted world struggle or whatever.
Yeah.
It was still so nebulous. And I say in Act 1 and 2, like who Renoir really was.
Yeah.
It was just like, okay, it's this some immortal Expedition Zero person that wants to just make sure that he just stays in power or something. I was very confused on like what was his motives until Act 3, which we kind of knew the true sense of it. So yeah. So basically, nothing is real. Fulya.
No,
and then
we're in the Matrix.
We're in the Matrix. Yeah. So how did you feel that it's not part of this world's not real, and then now it's more of a struggle of a family? Like, what was your thinking behind that?
Yeah, look, I think once I found that out, the feels definitely started to hit harder.
Yeah.
It got more emotional.
Right.
And the consequences of further actions were starting to also hit as well. And especially once you get to the real end game of it all.
Yeah.
And that was like, even that was a very difficult sort of decision to make.
Yes.
I don't know. I think I felt like I was so immersed in that story, and I was trying to keep myself in there for as long as possible, but then realizing that Mael just wanted to live in her brother's painting for as long as possible, or I should say Alicia, because that's her actual name.
Yes.
And so when you find that out, it really makes you sort of sit there and think. You don't really think about how would you feel if you've had a sibling that passed away or a family member that passed away. You didn't really get much of a chance to really spend time with them, and you get to do that in this world that's been created, right? And it's one of those things. It's like a grieving process, right?
Yeah.
How would you grieve for a loved one that passed away? And that's kind of where I didn't know how to feel in that sort of situation, because I've never experienced that myself.
Yeah.
But seeing it play out in this game, it was hard. It was hard to watch.
Yeah. I think Mael carried so much weight to her just because she felt guilty as well.
Yeah.
Like there was some sort of guilt that it was her fault that her brother died in some way.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even imagine how would anyone feel with that. And of course, yes, if you want to just live in the memories of your brother in the painted world, then you can try to do that forever. That's what you'll fight to do, I guess. And so let's get into Kevin Ainsworth's question.
Yes.
He asks, who did you side with and why wasn't Mael? Did you feel that learning the world was quote unquote fake lowered your enjoyment? I personally don't consider it fake despite being a painted world. So, Fulya, which choice did you decide at the end?
Oh, this was an internal struggle for me, and especially considering that I streamed this game and I had people in chat yelling at me. But they didn't necessarily tell me who to go with. All they were saying, make the right choice. And I'm like, what's the right choice? Like, my right choice could be different to your right choice, And so when it really came down to it, I wanted to live. I wanted Alicia to just be with her brother for a little bit longer, right?
I see.
And so I went with Mayel. So I'm with Kevin here. I went with Mayel as my choice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But then finding out what happens in is it the epilogue?
Yeah.
Yeah. Finding out what happens in the epilogue once you've chosen that path still broke me. And it, like, my heart shattered in that, especially that last little scene. And I thought, oh no, this is wrong. But yeah, it just, I don't know. I went with Mayel. That was my decision.
Okay. You went with Mayel. I did go with Verso.
Okay.
And I think I'm I would say like a straight shooter when it comes to video games and stories and choices. I choose the ones like, oh, that seems like the right choice. Even though I'm sure the other choice is also the best choice for a lot of people. It's just, for me, choosing Verso, it's more like I am trying to close the book on this game. It's more
Right.
I am trying to let Mael move on. That's one thing. And then also let that go from there. Like, okay, what would be the next thing to come afterwards? So yeah, I did go with Verso. Sorry, Kevin. I didn't feel like, well, actually, when I went to Act 3 and I didn't think this painted world was real, it was a kind of a mixed feeling for me. It was just like, okay, it's interesting it went this route, but now what's the point of all of this paint, this painted world? And that was just kind of my feeling. Like, I was like, okay, I'll go through and face some more monsters or whatever. It's just, at the end of it, this is gonna go away. This is all gonna get destroyed, and I'm gonna, it's gonna be the end of the game. So, and then I didn't particularly care for Act 3 in general. Not the story is good. The story is fantastic. I did not care about the pacing at all. After facing the Paintress and then revitalizing, it's like, okay, now you have to build up your party and then face Renoir one more time type of deal. It was very scatterbrained. It was just like there were so many different, and I'm sure you played it. I don't know how you approach Act 3. There were so many different things to go to. And there were definitely like 80, like initially 80% of the areas are too powerful or like too much. And then there was like 20% is like, okay, yeah, you can manage this and you can get through. I did do the final axiom. I don't know if you did as well. There was a third axiom level in Act 3. And that's actually essential, I think, to play. So
the axons from the
right. Sorry, the axons. That's what I meant, not axioms. Yeah. There's a third axon.
It was like they were all kind of like combined together in a way. Kind of. Is that the one? Or am I?
Yes, there's one that was combined. And then there was, I would have to look this one up again. Third axon level, Clair Obscur. Let me check the third. It was like the scissors. There was like a bunch of scissors involved. At least that's what I remember.
Oh, you mean the one that was below the dancing axon?
No, there was no. There was another axon in general. Man, I would have to look it up again exactly. Axons. Anyways,
it known as the Reacher?
It could be.
Okay,
no, the Reacher's the dancer one, right?
No.
Man, I'm sorry. I forget all these things. It could be the Reacher. Man, they don't really do a good job with this wiki at all.
No, it's not really.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to find. I think a lot of people who have posted about it is more of how do you beat it and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. is like not who it is. But anyways, there was a third Axon level in Act 3. That's very important, I think. They should play through. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, considering that I've started doing a platinum run, I'm doing a bit more of a exploration kind of a thing of trying to uncover the map a bit more and trying to find a bit more of the collectibles and stuff. So I might come across it at some point.
Yeah, sounds good. There was like plenty of other things to do in Act 3, like facing a big boss dragon in the sky. There was like so many different things to go through, and so I just didn't really care how I don't like it when RPGs do this in general. This is what happened in Shin Megami Tensei 5 as well. Okay. There were so many extras, and then like I actually did all the extras first before I ended the game, and I was too overpowered, and I just same exact thing happened with me in Act 3. I like faced so many different things. I didn't do all of it, but I did enough, and then like when I was beating Renmar, I was like, this is a cakewalk. This is like nothing. I can just get through it and just be fine. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's just my one minor gripe about that. But others, like spoiler stuff, of course, there's the creative director actually recently interviewed out, and basically he said expect another game from the Clair Obscur series. Yeah. So it's Clair Obscur. It's not Painted World Expedition, whatever. It's gonna be another Clair Obscur game in general. So I'm very curious how that's gonna work out.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but like I love the idea that we're going to get another one. But if it's going to be sort of like going into the same sort of thing where it is just like this fake world, we've already kind of experienced that, so I'm not quite sure how I feel.
Yeah. So I'm very excited to see what is coming up next, and I really overall really enjoyed this game and the twist. So Savoy Prime comes in and he asks 3 questions. And he's like, "Ayo, Kverse, 3 questions. First, Garret, what are your thoughts on The Expanse Osiris Reborn?" Oh my gosh, Savoy Prime, I do you think I have time to watch every single little bit of? Is it like Mass Effect or whatever? The Expanse Osiris Reborn. Well, it looks like a Star Ocean. There's a bunch of cool, attractive people in a title screen. Okay, sounds good. And it's it's built upon the rich lore of the Expanse series. It's an actual series separate. It's okay, cool. I'll have to check it out later. It looks like more Mass Effect than anything. And it looks like Unreal Engine 5. Looks super cool. Keep my eye out on it for sure. So second question is, Fulya, since you made the wrong decision at the end of Expedition 33, how do you feel about it forever tainting your gamer resume? And do you?
It hasn't tainted my gamer resume. Thank you very much.
And do you feel that you should be banned from playing RPGs ever again because of your mistake? Oh my gosh.
No, Ron, man, you take that crap out of here.
Savoy Prime's coming for blood. Blood oranges.
He was in the stream when I made the decision. And he was like, I'm not telling you which way to go. I'm not telling you who to pick, but make the right choice. And then apparently I didn't. And he's been forever not letting me live it down. So. And
here's the thing. The game made you have a choice. You created a choice. It's...
Yeah, exactly.
It's up
here's
to
the thing that I will also mention about that decision, right? Like, neither one is the right or wrong answer.
Yes, 100%.
It really depends on how you feel in the moment. In that moment, for me, it was more of I feel absolute sympathy for Alicia, and I want her to, be able to be with her brother and her friends a little bit longer. the way that she says she would want to. But yeah, I understand that that's not really healthy for someone who's grieving the loss of a family member or of a loved one, and they don't want to end that world yet.
Yeah.
They weren't ready. So for her, it was more of a like, she wasn't ready to move on. So I kind of thought, well, that's maybe the decision that I'll go with.
No, it totally makes sense to me. Like, I could have seen myself going either way. I think for me, at the end, if I chose Mael, I felt like she was not moving on, at least in my head.
And
yeah.
Did you watch the Mael ending?
I did not watch the Mael ending yet.
Okay.
I probably should somewhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because it is very, like, it's very dark. It goes dark.
Oh my
towards
gosh.
The end. Yeah.
All right then. I'll have to check it out then sometime.
Yeah.
Third question from Savoy Prime. You ready for Simon? Is Simon the major, like, big bad boss, I guess?
So I mentioned to him that I was going to go on a platinum run, and he was very happy to hear that. But then he was like, you better be ready for Simon. And that's all I've been hearing from everybody, that Simon is a optional boss, but in order to... But the thing is, Simon is also a trophy that you need to, if you want to get the platinum, you have to fight Simon and beat Simon. I don't know that I've come across Simon in my traversal through the game. I may have, and I've just avoided them, but I'm scared from what I've been hearing. So that's why I've been trying to level up and grind up my my characters before I go out of my way to find Simon.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool lore about this, and I'm just reading about Simon. I haven't not met him, and he looks like trouble. It's interesting. I just haven't heard too much of Simon itself during my playthrough, but you really got to dig deeper because he seems to be a pretty big antagonist. Reading at least the lore behind him, so get ready. He looks it says that he was previously the only one ever to defeat an Axon. So
okay.
he's a big baddie for sure. So
Yep.
good luck
Fun
with
times
Simon.
ahead.
Yeah. Okay, and then we have our last question here from Jay Hetfield. He asks, in Expedition 33, how did you feel about the basically forced a romantic relationship? Would you rather it have been more of a Persona Trails Final Fantasy VII kind of system where whoever you earn the most romance points, you end up with that romantic partner? In other words, should they have given the player more control over this? So I'm curious, Fulya, how did your romantic relationships go in this game?
So it's like Jay Hadfield pretty much mentions. You kind of don't have much of a choice, but whenever you get to a campfire site, you're you get the opportunity to speak to the rest of the party. And every time we did that, I wanted to do that. So I went and talked to everyone. And I noticed that a little bit further in, when you talk to everybody, especially more so as Verso, your relationship grows. You get relationship levels, and it just continues to grow. And so I just kept on going with everybody, and I leveled up everybody to the same. But I think for me, I sort of lent more towards CL, and then it sort of went from there.
Cool.
Like it was interesting. There wasn't a lot. It doesn't really go into it too much. They have you sit there and sort of watch them have like small discussions, and they each ask each other questions and they converse for a little bit, but it doesn't really go into too much detail with the relationship side of things, and then you don't really hear much about it after the fact. Like, the only time you know that there's a relationship thing happening is at the campsite, but then everywhere else you go, it doesn't really touch on it much. So, yeah. I'm not sure.
I felt very much it was kind of an added in at the end kind of deal. It's like, let's just do this extra thing and people will be liking this. I think they, and honestly, I think they did it because people would complain that there wouldn't be if there wasn't any. Like, it's like, oh, where's the romance in there? And it's like, well, I mean, it's a game that's, it may not have romance in there. So yeah, I kind of was forced with like to go through it as well, and then yes, it went more with Sael, but I hear you can go with Luna as well, or both, or whatever. But at the end of it all, like, it just didn't matter. It's just like, okay, I mean, like, if you did one side or the other side, it's just whatever.
Exactly.
So yeah, I just didn't really care for the romance part, and I think they just did it just so that people don't complain as much, and that's that. I don't really want them to try to expand and make it its own thing. It's not. I don't think this game is meant to have that type of like, unless it makes sense. It really makes sense, the romance part of it. It just didn't make sense to me to have it in there, because that's not really the point of the game. But anyways, I think that's the end of our questions. Fulya, is there anything else you would like to mention, or you good to go?
Go play Clair Obscur.
Do it.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Go play
Just do
Clair
it.
Obscur. Get through that video game. It's such a good video game, and especially if you're a turn-based RPG fan, it's just like, what are you doing? Like go and play it. And it's not a terribly long hour count either. It's like, what, 40, 50 hours, something like that. It's not terribly long either. So yeah, that'll be it. That's the end of the show here. First, I'm gonna go through this kind of the Patreons. You can support us at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. And then I'm going to go through our supporters here. So we have the ultimate producers here. We got Brendan Myers, a.k.a. the Winner Gamer. You have Jonathan Brown. You can listen to his music over at, was it linktr.ee/pme.jib. And then you got TechMike. He says, who says, whether you're a Kevesi or Agnian, you're a Xenobabe at heart. And then we have our platinum producers, Benny, Smokin' Joe, the Captain, Tim Paullin, and then our gold members, Adam K, Anna, Awesome Dave, 1337, Brad Moore, Brian Reese, Cecily Carrozza, Dan and Luma, Dannohh, Emily O'Kelly, John 32, Laura, Ligerwoods 3330, Mr. Giggles, OldMrFrump, Peje EP, and Stephen Keller. Thank you so much. All the Patreons over there over at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. And that's it. So, plugs for you, for all out there, go for it.
You can find me on the Mini Indie Van here at Carpool Gaming, our monthly indie game podcast. There'll be one coming out very soon, so keep an eye out for that one. You can also find me on socials, Blue Sky and Instagram at Foolish Fuji, and I'm also on YouTube and Twitch at Foolish Fuji. And then for everything else you want to learn about, head over to foolishfuji.com, and that is pretty much it.
Nice. And then you can also follow me at Blue Sky at Blind Explosion. You can also find me on the Discord. I read every single message in the RPG Cave channel. Not all the way through sometimes. Sometimes I just I read the first 2 lines and I'm like, it's going to be the waste of time if I kind of read through the rest. So, but I understand you. I see you. You exist. Don't worry.
Yep.
I know you're there. I sometimes pop in the Xbox Drive and the PC Drive channels. I'm a Steam Deck just stan. I am the number one fan when it comes to Steam Deck. So if you want to talk all about that, I'm your guy. DM me. And that's it. So for Fulya and Blind Explosion, this is the level 196 of the RPG Cave, and we're out. Bye-bye.
Bye.